Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. I'm Sarah Sunstone, and in today's video we're going to be taking a look at the crafting mechanics on Coral Island. Now at this point, not a whole lot is really known surrounding this topic. To be honest, sometimes I even forget to explicitly note or mention that crafting is a part of the game because it really has been just coasting under the radar. As it stands, the Coral Island wiki notes that crafting is the action where the player creates items using crafting recipes. And that's it. So we don't really have a whole lot to go off of here. Of course, you know me, I had to do some digging. As always, please remember that everything I've said in this video is subject to change as the game is still in development. If the idea of crafting is entirely new to you, it is the act of creating a new item in-game as specified by a crafting recipe. The recipe will list a set of materials that you will need to create the item. Crafting is similar but not the same as cooking, which is another game mechanic in Coral Island, which I will leave for a future video when we know more about it. Although we don't know all or many of the crafting recipes that will be available on Coral Island, we can speculate that we may start the game with a very limited number of available recipes, and the rest we will acquire across the span of our gameplay. Some of my personal guesses for how we will gain new crafting recipes are by leveling up various skills, by purchasing the recipes at Sam's general store or from another merchant, by completing various quests across the island, or by receiving them as gifts by gaining friendship points with the Coral Island townies. Regardless of how exactly we acquire these recipes, you don't have to worry about the variety that we will be provided with, as it has been stated in the developer diaries that lots of recipes are now available to be made. Let's take a look at just about the only glimpse we've gotten of anything crafting related on Coral Island, and that is this photo here of the crafting UI. The top menu bar shows a variety of categories of craftable items labeled Tools, Artisan, which is likely equipment to turn farmed produce and animal products into artisan goods, Refining, which is likely equipment to turn various items such as copper, iron, and coal into other materials, Furniture, and Consumables. So far, the unlocked recipes shown here include a simple wooden chair, a storage chest, a barrel, which perhaps could be used to produce wine or cheese, what appears to be a gate, a sprinkler, a bee house to make honey, a campfire, and a wooden fence post. We can also see two recipes that appear to be locked, another sprinkler, and another gate or fencing element. These could be upgraded versions of these recipes, so for example a higher quality sprinkler that can water extra tiles, or an iron gate instead of a wooden gate. But I'm not 100% sure because some of the unlocked items shown in this photo also seem to repeat themselves, although perhaps there are multiple versions of all of these recipes. On the right hand side of the screen we can see that the player has selected the chest recipe. For each recipe we will be able to see how many tiles it will occupy in your home or on your land. We will also be able to see how many we have already crafted in our inventory. And then I'm assuming the capacity here indicates how many items can be stored in the chest, so this seems to be extra item specific information. The recipe will also show us the required materials to craft the item, along with how many of each material we currently have. I'm hoping that this number will be reflective of what is both in our pocket and in our inventory, because one of my biggest pet peeves about Animal Crossing is having to run back and forth to my home storage to grab more materials for crafting. I also really like that it clearly shows a green check mark once you have sufficient materials of each type. It seems that this checkmark indicator will also appear on the items that we currently are able to craft, meaning that we have all the required materials for them. At the bottom right of the interface, we can adjust the quantity of the item that we would like to craft at once, which may seem straightforward and logical to include in the mechanics, but anyone who's spent time crafting hundreds or even thousands of fish bait on Animal Crossing would tell you otherwise, meaning I really appreciate this small but seriously impactful detail. It also appears that we'll have different ways to sort our recipes and some additional crafting options. So far, we can see that we will be using wood, hardwood, and iron bar to craft, along with stone and trash that we've collected from the ocean floor. This wood icon here also looks different from the others, so there may be another type of wood like softwood, or it could just be that the icon is a work in progress. Materials will also be used to complete projects at the town hall and craft building upgrades, such as to our farmhouse or to create and upgrade ranching buildings to house our animals. Other crafting materials may include coal, gold bars, copper bars, materials dropped from defeating enemies in the mines, quartz, diamonds, and other crystals, plant fibers, kelp, sap, clay, various scavengeables or forageables, and I'm sure much more. In the trailer, some items we've seen that are likely to be craftable include the chicken coop, the wooden fence, the sprinklers, these storage chests here, and this well over here. In this clip, we can see an upgraded fencing type, the windmill, the storage chests again, what appear to be some sort of kegs, the bee houses, the scarecrow, and a couple different path types. Here we can see the barns, the coops, additional fencing and gates, more sprinklers, and more path types here. As for interior furniture, we know that this chair is craftable, so we could assume that the table is as well, and perhaps even the wardrobe. However, I wonder if any of the other furniture items are craftable, or maybe some of them come pre-existing in your home when you move in, such as the bed and fireplace, or perhaps some are for purchase at Socket Electronics like this TV here. Beyond what we've seen in the trailer and the UI photo, we can speculate on what other items might be available for crafting. Please remember that these are all 100% predictions, speculations, absolutely nothing more. The artisan category may include a loom to create cloth, a cheese press, a machine to make oil, and some sort of machine to make mayonnaise. The refining category could include a furnace, a charcoal kiln, some sort of recycling machine, an egg incubator, a seed maker, and a geode crusher. Other than the various fencing and path types, we will also likely be able to craft different interior floorings and perhaps even wallpapers among likely a wide variety of furniture. I'm not certain if the actual food recipes will be included under consumables or if the cooking UI will be completely separate, but I also believe that many potions and medicines will be craftable for consumption. I also believe that we will be able to craft various fertilizers to improve the quality of our crops, or perhaps products to help those crops retain water. I also think that we'll be able to craft various items that will help us with fishing, such as bobbers and bait. I wonder if there will be any craftable items that we can use when we're diving. Since this is a mechanic that is quite new to the genre, I'm also wondering if there's just the one trash type that we gather when we clean up the ocean, or if there will be multiple different materials of trash. So say plastic versus aluminum versus other trash types. And I also wonder, aside from trash and kelp, whether there will be any other materials we can gather while we're diving. Before I leave you today, let's take a look at today's amazing fan art. Today we have a beautiful sketch done by Lika, and this is their very first Coral Island fan art, which is of Joko. Since Joko is a carpenter and we're talking about crafting, I thought it would be a perfect fit. I'm so excited to see that Joko is getting some love in the community because he seems really cool. You can find Lika's information in the description. Thank you so much for sharing your art with us. So there you have it, friends. That is essentially everything that we know so far about the crafting mechanics on Coral Island. I can't wait to learn more, and I'm so excited to see all the different crafting recipes we'll be able to acquire. Please comment down below what sort of craftable items you would like to see in the game, as well as whether you think there will be any other gatherable materials from underwater beyond the trash and the kelp. Thank you so much for watching and for supporting my channel. I look forward to chatting with you in the comments. I love you all, and until next time, take care.